I have been growing my hair since 2013, and I decided yesterday to cut it all off. For those of you who know me, my name is James Joseph Edward Jesberger Jr., but please call me Jimmy for short. And this is the story of why I decided to cut all my hair off. And I promise I'm not looking away from y'all. I just have a list of things and points that I want to definitely touch on because I've had a bunch of people ask me why I cut my hair off. It's been a long adventure, 10 years now of me growing my hair and for donations and stuff like that. And let's get straight into it and why I did it essentially. If this answers your questions, please feel free. If you have anything else you'd like to ask or any types of videos, please let me know. So I've been growing my hair out since 2013. That would be 10 years as of now. But before that time, 10 years ago, 2013, I was about my freshman year going into about my sophomore year of college. But before then, we need to start with a couple precursors or preface some things before we start. Growing up, I was a very overweight kid. I still was a very overweight adult growing up. And for those who don't know, I was on a weight loss journey. Still am. You know, it's a lifestyle. It's something that you always do. I lost 87 pounds altogether. And recently, I've been getting back down to my lowest weight of 150, which will happen. I'm super excited about that. But just remember that I was always an overweight kid, and there are some body image issues here, and I don't want to trigger anybody, etc., but that is a theme. When I was in, and the second context thing is, I've had every hairstyle a guy could probably have. From the beginnings, I was born with blonde hair. I had the coconut type, like, bowl cut, like Nikki and Alex from Full House when I was a kid. I had so many different haircuts. I had spikes, I had a pompadour, I had pulled back hair, I had a swoopy do, I've had everything. Until I was in my 8th grade year of grade school, obviously. But for those who don't know, I have been going to Catholic school from kindergarten up until my senior year of high school. So that's 13 plus years of wearing uniforms, having a dress code, etc. And when I was in 8th grade, 7th to 8th grade-ish, I finally decided I wanted to start growing out my hair. Not super long, etc., because I was still in school during the time. But the emo scene, like Justin, they call it the Justin Bieber now, but I had essentially an emo scene haircut that would swoop to the right, that would cover my cowlick, even though I have full head of hair and stuff like that. And I'm about to be 30, too. That's another big thing. But we always had uniforms and dress code. And for me, when I was in 8th grade, I was on MySpace. You know, I was growing into myself as a pubescent teenage boy. I wanted to do something different. And I wanted to grow my hair. I had always wanted, since I was 8 years old, I wanted sleeves. I wanted full sleeve tattoos. And that was something that I've always wanted. And then for me, my expression started turning into my hair. It was something that I wanted to do, something that I wanted to grow. I was super excited about it. And once I was out of 8th grade, I kind of had the summers to let my hair grow out. And I forget if in 7th grade I did it too for the summer, but in 8th grade I definitely let my hair grow out. And I was like, oh, this is something I really enjoy. Sorry, not even, 12 years would be, So 8th grade to high school, senior year of high school, yeah. So I was in Catholic school, had dress code, etc. for so freaking long. Then when I finally got to college, this is where things really changed. When I finally got to college, I had no dress code, and I didn't know what to wear. There were plenty of days, and you can ask my mom, you can ask my friends who weren't in the Catholic school that I met in college. There were plenty of weeks where I didn't know what to frickin' wear or to do with my hair or to do with myself. But right before I went to college, I forget why, but I did cut my hair like this. Like, I cut it like pretty short. It was shorter than this. It was like a crew cut. And I think I was just starting like anew, or maybe for high school or something like that. Or maybe I was just like tired of having hair in front of my face because it was like the forehead Justin Bieber mop thing across my face. But for a while, I had no idea what to wear. And in my seventh to eighth grade year, I lost some weight, but I was still kind of heavier. And then in my high school years, another thing I forgot to bring up was during the summers, because for high school, obviously, when I was in Catholic school, I couldn't let my hair grow out. By the way, for those who don't know, you can't grow your hair past your eyebrows, and you can't get your hair past your ears, and you can't have your hair touch your collar. Even though Jesus had super long hair, go figure, they wouldn't let me grow my hair out. So I would hide in school, like making sure my hair was always like above my eyebrows, making sure I pushed it behind my ears, and then putting it underneath my collar. That's how guys who had longer hair got away with it. And guys who had longer hair than me didn't get in trouble, and I got in trouble here and then. I was very pissed off about it. But I started going to college, and I started college with short hair. My freshman year, I went through, and I guess I was just like, well, the Justin Bieber swoop is this thing that I enjoy. And by the way, it wasn't even called that back then. It was just emo scene hair, and it became the Justin Bieber thing because I forget if he's a year older than me, my age, or a year younger, but he started growing it out when we were growing it out, and it was like that became the norm of what it was called. It's also called like the coconut haircut, I guess. I don't know, the bob, the bowl, whatever you want to call it. The Beatles, I've been called everything. I've had every nickname too. It wasn't until my sophomore year of college, which was 2013, well, probably like end of freshman year into my sophomore year, I had met a whole new group of friends. And I became a commuter assistant at Arcadia University. That, was a whole trip and a half, and how I became myself. And I met somebody, and he probably doesn't even know this about my life. About this part specifically. I did start growing out my hair because I did tell him that I was going to grow out my hair like him, but I had my hair in the swoop for so long. I had a friend at Arcadia named Brandon. Brandon had super long hair. He was a senior. Yeah, he was a senior when I was a sophomore. So was Mitch, I believe. Yeah, because they both graduated that year. But Brandon had hair down to about his waist when I met him. And I started asking him questions, started like inquiring about it, and he was like, yo, I love my long hair. He would like keep it down all the time, and then sometimes he like put it up in a man bun or in a top knot or something. And I was like, man, I'm learning from him. I want to start growing my hair super long and having it like that. Like, I think that'd be cool. Let me try it out for the first time and see how it goes. Then something completely changed that I don't think a lot of people know where this story comes from, so it'd be an interesting thing to put out there. Then I met one of my best friends, Sam. Sam, I don't know how long for, but I believe like her entire life has been donating her hair. She's been, whenever she gets it donated, she cuts it up to her shoulders, and then she lets it grow to a certain point, I believe like maybe to her waist or like somewhere around there, and then donates it up to her chest. And me and Sam got really close. And, one of my closest friends now, I even believe. And she was telling me about donations. And, when I first started bringing up that I was growing out my hair and I wanted to donate it, because that's another thing too. The other reason, which was kind of selfish, and why I was growing my hair out for so long and why I enjoyed my long hair was a lot of people were saying, Jimmy, you look so good. Your hair is really thick. Your hair is really nice. Like, oh my God, people would die to have that hair. Like, people would love to have your hair or have a wig of it. And I started thinking, like, maybe I should start donating it. And Sam was a huge pioneer for me who was donating and taught me a lot of things and said, and no offense, if you donate to Locks of Love, that's completely up to you. But they make people pay for their wigs, and I'd rather not. I'd rather just give it as a donation and not have people have to pay for the wigs. So for years, I donated to Pantene Long Locks, and then unfortunately, they only take synthetic wigs now. So I had to find the newest place that I recently donated to for what I'm about to do. But let's not skip ahead too forward. Started talking to Sam, started, getting my game plan, and since I talked to Sam about donations. She even knows this, and most of my friends knows. If you're close enough with me, you know this. My goal since that day, 2013, was to grow my hair out as much as possible, and I wanted to grow it down to my waist and then cut it up to my chest like every 3 years because I knew from like my hair completely like almost shaven, like a one all the way around. Took about 3 years to get to about to my chest, 3 to 4 years. So I knew if I let it grow 3 years past my chest, it would be enough to probably donate or etc. from there. But every time I grew my long hair out and I was about to donate, I always had something that I needed to cut my hair for, whether it was a show, whether I wanted a change for a little bit, or something was always going on. Most of the time, I'm not going to lie, the 4 or 5 times I've donated now, all the times that I remember have been performances. Like they paid me to cut my hair, or they asked me to cut my hair for the show or something, etc. I think there was one time I went, I just want to get my hair cut because I want to do it. And that was actually the last time I did it. And it was for a girl at the same time too. So we're not going to get into that, but I cut my hair and etc. for that. And I noticed that this last time I was donating, and I was like, man, I think it's finally time to let my hair stay short for a while. I've donated my hair about 4 or 5 times now, all to Pantene Long Locks, and this last time was two wigs for kids. And I'm very proud of that statement. Even though I didn't get to donate as much as I wanted because my hair was only about to here-ish, it's like right at my nipple levels. The rest of my hair, my bangs were only like to like here, were only like to my shoulder length. It wasn't like I had layers and I started from a complete, all even. It's just my hair grows out with layers and stuff. I'm very blessed and thankful that my hair is, layered and thick and super nice, etc. And, people would die for my hair. And yeah, I decided to donate it, and something was different the last couple of months to about a half a year now. Since the last time I donated my hair, I was like, man, I can't wait to grow it back out. And this time it took me about 3.5 years to 4 years to grow my hair out to about here, which was amazing. And I love having long hair. I actually joke around, and it's true. I actually think long hair is easier than short hair if I had a normal lifestyle. And that's what I'm about to get into. There's a ton of different reasons, and I actually realized a bunch of things as I was writing out these notes. So the question that everybody wanted after this 12-minute talk that I'm probably not going to edit too much. So why I cut my hair off. First of all, I'm a runner. That doesn't mean that you can't have long hair and be a runner. Trust me, there are plenty of athletes and guys who have long hair and etc., X, Y, and Z. It was another factor that added to a whole list of things that I was thinking about. By the way, this wasn't like a day decision where I went like, I'm going to cut my hair and, I'm going to do it now. And like, no, it was like, I've been thinking about it for a couple months to, I think, half a year actually. But the runner in me was running. I run every single day. I'm showering and I sweat so much that I have to wash my hair every single day. And it felt like my hair was up more often or wet more often than it was nice and pristine and down, etc. For those who don't know, who don't have short hair, mostly female presenting people, because usually you have long hair. Long hair obviously takes so long to dry. My hair is very thick. It took very long to dry. It would take hours to dry, even if I blow dry it. This, I can blow dry it in like 3 minutes and it's completely dry. Like, I don't have to do much. I also don't have to brush it. That was a huge thing for me. I was like, I want my hair long enough that I can, have it nice and like thick, but I want it short enough that it doesn't come down to my eyes and it doesn't flop around, etc. And it just looks nice. Which I actually think this is one of the best haircuts I've ever gotten. I think this is like really personifies me and like is a good new beginning for me, which I'll get to. But not number one, but the first thing I started thinking about was I'm a runner. I sweat a ton. It was always in my face. I always had to put it up when I was running, and I always had to shower and wash my hair and do a ton of different things. The second reason, and actually probably most important out of all these, there's two kind of things that I put out there that are kind of like the biggest two things. Runner actually wasn't even number one. I could have done, if I was just a runner, I think I would have been fine. The second thing is that most people don't know, I've been a professional mascot since 2013 also. That's another big thing about me. But the most I can say is I mask out a lot. And I mask out for a lot of different people. And it got to a point where I'm running every day, and then I was mascotting either around that time or after that time, and I was taking almost 2 showers a day, or I was jumping in the pool, etc. It became so much. My hair would get in my face when I was in a helmet or in a head, and that was one of the biggest things for me too. It just kept hindering me, and I didn't want it to end up me getting into an accident or hurting anybody or me hurting myself, because even though I've had people before say, "Oh, just like I wear head wraps and everything too when I'm in suit, etc." They're like, "Why don't you just put it in a bun and it'll be fine?" It's like there's not enough room. It's a helmet. Like I can't just put a top knot up. It's not like that. I have to keep my hair down, and I'm always sweating, whether I'm running or I'm mascotting. My profession just at this point did not allow me to. I'm sorry. It just did not allow me to. Not that I'm offended by it. I'm actually very proud that it got to this point. So I'm very happy about that. I already kind of talked about this, but showers and my hair was always up. I believe long hair is actually easier. I think it's more stylish, but this, I don't have to do much and it just stays the way it is. If I want to style it or I want to gel it, it can do different things and have fun with it, but mostly it's going to be like this. And I very much enjoy this hairstyle. I wanted it out of my face. Now, my hair was long enough that it was down to my chest. And I know a ton of people are going to say, well, Jimmy, can't you just put your hair up and it won't be a bother? I had baby hairs. I had loose hairs all the time. I run vigorously a lot. I'm running around like a banshee. I'm going crazy. And my hair would always come out of it. Like no matter how, like I'm a sprinter. I'm a distance runner. I do a bunch of different running things. And my hair would just fall into my face, would do a bunch of different things. And I needed it out of my face for once and not have to feel like I had to put it up. I just wanted it to not be around and not mess with me or funk anything up. Something that I hadn't felt in a while, and actually really never with my hair. I've had it here and there, like light spouts of it, but this was the biggest one ever. And I wrote this down, and I can't believe I'm about to say this. Like, I was actually shocked the first time I kind of thought about it a couple months ago. I wanted a break. I needed a fresh break and a long break for now. So for those who don't know, I've told a few of my friends, they're going, as soon as I got my hair cut, people were like, oh, well, you're going to start growing your hair out, right? Like, now you're just going to start letting it grow out. For those who don't know, also, I got a fade. I got my first ever fade on my hair, too. This haircut meant to me that I was going to take a break from donating, from growing my hair, etc. I don't know how long that's going to be, but I genuinely thought to myself when I was getting my haircut and for the last couple of months, like this, if I get my haircut, this is going to be like a couple months or a half a year or a year. I'm right now debating a year. I think I want to get haircuts or get haircuts off and on for like a year now, and just see how I feel and go from there. This haircut, as I'll get to, I don't want to say it till I want to leave it for the very end, but there's an element of freshness, and you'll understand why I kind of needed the freshness too. Which goes into my next point. I've never been tested for OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, but I definitely have very strong OCD tendencies. A lot of people don't know this unless you're really close to me or I've told you stories before. You don't know this about me. Growing up, this is why I said context. Growing up, I don't know what happened. And this is going to get very you're going to learn a lot about me in a statement. For those who don't know this about me, there was a point where I was just so heavy as a kid. And I guess I was just sweating so often, or I was getting dirty a lot often. And I had this realization, after I was eating and stuff like that too, that I needed to shower. And I'm still kind of like that today. I've gotten better. I don't have to immediately, this is how bad it was. When I was a kid and I would eat something, I couldn't go out after I ate. Even if I just showered before I ate, I would have to eat food and then shower again because I felt like I wasn't clean. I had like something on my face, or I had to like clean myself or whatever it was. I don't know what was up about that. But even now, whether it's like emotionally, mentally, physically, like cleanliness of the mind or of the spirit, or even literally physically, I have very strong OCD tendencies. I like to make sure that things are clean. I like to make sure that things are organized. I'm not I think I'm more obsessive compulsive about my like feelings and my emotions and like my memories than other things. But I'm still on the track of keeping things the way that I like them. I eat a certain way. Most people don't even know that about me. I eat a certain way. Why this is so important, the OCD tendencies thing was, it started getting to a point where I just felt like I was washing my hair after every little thing. Or I couldn't touch my hair because I just touched like oil or gas or something. Or I just ate food and I couldn't touch my hair. Or I just ate buffalo wings and I couldn't like fix my hair. I couldn't like do anything. Even if I washed my hands, I was like, well, I can't touch my hair now because I have to like wait hours and X, Y, and Z. And it just feels nice to not have my hair, as I was saying earlier, not in my face, not running around. So if my hair was even short and it came down to my eyebrows, I wouldn't even touch my hair now, like with that. Now I'm super easy. It's like this. And it actually like I got my hair cut and it freed me. Like it freed me from some of my OCD tendencies of like, oh my God, I can touch my hair now. Like it doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be X, Y, and Z. I think also getting the fade made me realize, because my OCD tendencies were so strong about my hair, that I never, ever thought I would like shave my head or get a fade or anything that would like, I think would fuck up my hair. Now I don't care. I'm like, okay, let's just do this. And I'm like growing and experiencing and like becoming more of like a mature, not to say that you're not mature if you have OCD or OCD tendencies, but it was a huge difference, this haircut. That's why I was like, oh my God about it. And you guys can probably guess from there, like when I was showering, I had to make sure my hair was super clean all the time. Like I had to shampoo my hair every single day. I had to brush it out. I had to blow dry it. It just became like a super big thing for me. Next, if I want to get tattoos or piercings, I don't have to worry about my hair anymore being in the way. I've always wanted my industrials done on either side. I've always wanted to get back my nose ring on the side. If I want to get like a scalp tattoo, or if I want to get like a face tattoo or like a scalp tattoo on like the top of my head, I can shave my head now and not worry about it with it being super long. There was a time period a couple months ago where I went, oh, if I cut my hair, I think that's where it kind of stemmed from. But I was like, oh, if I cut my hair and I want to get like a side tattoo on my scalp, I could do it now, or on the back of my head, because like I'll have my hair cut and then I can let it grow out if I want to let it grow out. It was just a weird point to have like long hair and be like, okay, well now I'm gonna shave like the side of my head and be fine with it. It's like it's a lot to go through just to like have short hair for a little bit. Now I can have the short hair, take a break, and be okay with it. And then just like other piercings or tattoos, or if I wanted to get my neck done, I wouldn't have to worry about anything. And now it's like I don't have to worry about being tangled in bed if I were to like get a nose ring or my industrials done or more gauges or piercings, etc. Like I don't have to worry about anything. This one people don't know about. And I don't know how this is going to come out, but I promise you, I'm trying to say this in the most nice way possible. Growing up, I was always told that I had super great hair. I had super amazing hair. People would die for it, etc. Like I had thick hair. People love it. People always wanted to touch it. In college, I was known as the guy that people would like run their hands through my hair. And when I go to like get my hair done, or people would like, I would go to bars and women, that would be an amazing thing for people. Like women would talk to me because I had long hair and they want to braid it or put it up in a ponytail or mess with it or play with it. And I've had a lot of relationships with a lot of girls that liked me just for that. A lot of women who liked me for that. And I'm not going to lie, the long hair is still Jimmy. It is still part of my identity. It's still part of me, but it doesn't define my worth. It doesn't define who I exactly am, whether I have short hair or long hair. I'm still worthy. I'm still myself. It doesn't make me good or bad to have long or short hair. And I started getting into this like weird place where my hair was like a symbol of who I was. And I was like, man, I can't ever cut it now. And I was like, no, do it, get it done, and feel good about yourself, and burst your bubble. Like, break your comfort zone. You're too comfortable right now, is where I kind of was with a lot of that stuff. And where this leads into next, and it's going to be kind of weird, and if for certain people I know who watch this video, maybe they'll think it's about them. I promise you, I never actually was against anybody. When I started growing out my hair in college, and trust me, I learned from another long hair guy. I don't know why I started getting this way, but I started getting jealous of like other guys. That was the thing I was so nervous about talking about. I started getting like jealous, and that's one of my biggest sins. I feel like one of my 7 deadly sins. Like, I think jealousy is one of my worst ones out of like all of them, like the higher tiered one that I do the most often. And I was just jealous of any guy that had long hair, because I was like, oh, are they taking away from me? They're trying to like stamp on my identity, or, you know, they think they have better hair than me because I think I have better hair than them. And it was all my insecurities coming out and thinking that other people thought the same way I did, or my anxieties or my OCD tendencies and stuff. I started getting obsessed with it. I started going, and then I started realizing in the last couple months, I'm like, why do I care so much? Why do I care if I have long hair? Like, and then the next thing was, back in the day when I would get my hair cut short, when people would meet me, I'd be like, well, you don't know me with long hair. You don't know me like at this certain way. Like, that's who I am. That's who I am, blah, blah, blah. And it was kind of getting like, Jimmy, you're always yourself, but you don't need to have long hair. It started getting like possessive. It was like, what am I doing? What is going on? Why do I need I literally said to my mom, I had a conversation with her before I got my hair cut, because she was surprised as all hell about it. And a lot of my friends were, but she was like, I told her that, and I was like, I don't know why I care. Like, why do I care about what other people think, what women think, what X, Y, and Z? Like, it should just be for me. And if I'm happy, and if I want my hair cut, because for a while I wanted my hair cut, but I was like, well, I got to keep this like long hair thing, and it's me. And it's like, no, you don't have to. Like, it's your life, dude. If you want a hand tattoo, go get a hand tattoo. If you want to live your life and have fun and do what you want to do, hair, I've known this for years, but you know, it finally set in the last couple of years. Hair will grow back. For a performance, I was crying that I had to cut my hair off, because I finally had it at a like long length. It was to my waist, and I had to cut it for a show. And I was like, man, I don't want to cut my hair. This is the first time I'm actually getting to like grow it out super long. And somebody in the cast, who I treated as like my theater grandmother, she was like, her name's Mary. She was like, Jimmy, your hair will grow back. Like, do not worry, your hair will grow back. And I'm like, okay. And before I went into this haircut, I already had it aligned. I was already ready to go. I knew going in all the things that I was feeling. I knew exactly where I was coming from. And I was like, this is going to be great. I'm getting a new look. I'm going to be fresh. I'm not going to have any emotions about it. I'm not going to care if people have long hair or think certain things about X, Y, and Z. It was freeing. It was finally, for the first time, like, this thing happened, and it was freeing. The next thing that's very emotional, that, you know, I'm not going to get emotional talking about it, but it's just another emotional topic. Hiding behind my hair with weight and without. So what I mean by that is, I genuinely think my hair became a crutch. It was like, when people said, what's your best feature? I always said my hair. Even when my hair was short, I was like, my hair is my best feature. And then people sometimes say like my eyes, etc., blah, blah, blah. But I said years ago, months before this haircut, like, oh, my hair shapes my face. Like, it shapes my face. Before I lost all the weight, like, I could hide behind my hair. It was just something that I could have and not worry about, and not, you know, feel like I was fat. I didn't feel like I could be overweight. It was just my hair was so good that it didn't show my face. And, you know, I lost all the weight, and I did have short hair at a period when I was super thin too. And I was like, man, the hair no offense, like in a good way, it didn't do as much as I thought it did. It was still me, but even people now are going, especially my mom, after, I had to show her my hair, but she was like, "Oh my God, I never noticed. You're like," I mean, not like this, but she was like, "You're so handsome without long hair. Like, you have a jawline, you like," since I lost all the weight and everything too. And, I have had a thinner jawline when I was 150. I'm now like 170-ish. Um, she was like, "You have a jawline, you have a chin," and it just affirmed a lot of things I was feeling about myself. For years, I was growing up as a kid. I never had a chin. I never had like a neck. I mean, I had like all of a neck and like no chin, and I'd be made fun of by like my peers and my classmates and stuff. And I always got made fun of about my weight. And I guess this was like me finally going, "Oh, I actually do have a jawline. I actually do like look good." I was hiding behind my weight and my hair. And then, since you never really lose it with body dysmorphia and stuff like that, I lost all the weight and I still had my long hair. And I was like, man, my long hair makes me look even sexier. I'm like, okay, now I'm a skinny dude and I still have my good hair. And it's like, Jimmy, you can have both, or you can have short hair and be skinny and sexy. Like, that doesn't define who you are. You don't have to have long hair to be a certain person. And it just was an eye-opening experience, this whole experience for me. Getting my hair cut, making these notes about it. Like, these are all the feelings I've had for the last, like, 3 to 5 months now. Like, I've been, my friends probably don't know this, but I've been thinking about this for a while, for a long time. And I just needed to do it. And I'm very fucking proud I did this, actually. I feel so good. I know a ton of people are going to go, "Jimmy, it's just hair. Jimmy, it's just a look. Jimmy, it's just whatever." This meant a lot to me. This meant so much, and something that I was genuinely so afraid to do. And those little things, these little things that we do, change so much about us. The last thing is that I'll leave off, and I wanted to definitely leave last. Like, I wrote it earlier, and then I put it at the end, so I was like, this is the biggest thing about it. My main reason also was I just wanted a fresh haircut. I wanted a new beginning. I wanted to just be Jimmy. I'm literally about to be 30 in November. Not to say you can't be 30 and have long hair, but I felt good for a change. I felt good to just be me, to not worry about my weight, to not worry about whatever, even though I'm still worried about it, not with the hair, or not worried about it, but thinking about it no matter what. But to me, this was a new beginning. This was a new, fresh haircut. And guess what? I'm so proud. I even started adding new profile pictures, new headshots to things, and having fun with it. And just like knowing now that I can have short hair and still be myself and still produce and do different things is so amazing. Along with the OCD tendencies things, I was freaking nervous about wearing headphones and then like it messing up my hair or having a piece of thing or like a hat. Now I can wear a hat, and dude, I look fucking good with short hair and a hat on. Like, I've always been good in hats, but now I'm like, oh my God, like I actually look like good, like with something covering my head and like being like a normal fucking like skinny dude, Like it was something great. And I'm so excited to have like a fresh dude. Like, this is my first haircut too in a while. And I'm not just saying this, like the other haircuts that I've had when I've donated and cut my hair short, this feels like for the first time, it feels like I got a fresh cut. I understand now what guys say when guys say they get a fresh cut and it feels like they feel like a brand new man. This is literally how I feel right now, and it's not going down. The high has not been going down. I feel so happy, and I'm so happy for the fresh haircut, the fresh look, but also a fresher me. And I'm still me. But I'm always learning and always growing. And I'm so happy for these new beginnings, still as me, but moving forward and learning and growing and becoming a better me. So I hope you guys like this video. I talked for 35 minutes about my hair, but that's part of the course. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I hope some of you guys got to learn something new about me. And I'm always up for story times. And I'm going to get back to streaming and editing and a whole bunch of stuff soon. Do not worry about that. But as always, my name is James Joseph Edward Jesberger Jr. But please call me Jimmy for short. And I'll always see you guys in the next one. Peace. That was good.